Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got a very special bottle on the channel. This is the first cigar blend, well, they call it Cigar Sessions, from Penelope. Now, this bottle was so special that I didn't shave or anything. I had to come down here and give you guys a review. Let's get it.
Bottle drop, bottle drop, bottle drop.
Now, I just picked this bottle up today. This is the new Penelope Cigar Sessions. This is the first ever cigar blend release from Penelope. They say it was put together with master cigar blenders. It is 6 years old. It has been watered down to 101 proof. And the reason why I had to shoot this thing tonight, and I just picked it up today. Today's Thursday. Normally on Fridays, I shoot, shave, cut my hair, do all that stuff. But I had to come back down here and give you guys a review because I did not want to forget anything. So you see this band right here. This is the band to an Oliva G. Now, if you read the side of the bottle, it says that Penelope Cigar Sessions Chapter 1 brings together master cigar and whiskey blenders uniting their crafts to create the ultimate pairing for medium body. That's why I went with the cigar, the Oliva Series G, because to me, to some of you that might be a little spicy, but to me that's more of a medium bodied in my opinion. This says the blend is a blend of straight bourbon, 100% American single malt, and American light whiskey. So it is a blend. That's why it's called a whiskey. This is a whiskey. This is not a bourbon. This is a whiskey. It is a blend of 3 different whiskeys. You've got bourbon, you've got American single malt, and then you've got American light whiskey. You guys know how I love American light whiskey. Now, Penelope went all out. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the label has texture to it. I'll put it up on the screen. It's got like this, like almost like these brown beads almost where the P is at. And then if you didn't notice, if you're not a big cigar guy, this is what the band looks like on a cigar. So they really wanted to make it feel like a cigar blend. Now the wild thing is, it is not finished in anything. It is just those 3 whiskeys blended together. I've been wanting to find, and I have found some, but I've been wanting to find something that is not finished that I feel like goes well with the cigar. I took this thing upstairs, man. I was out on the deck. Shout out to Shane, because me and Shane, we were texting back and forth while I was out there. And before we started texting each other, I was really getting into this thing, and I was getting into my notes, and I was like, wow, like, to me, whoever put this thing together, the team that put this thing together, really, really did one hell of a job on making it pair with a cigar. Let's get into the nose. Now, when I first got it home today and I cracked it, it was muted on the nose, and it's still a little muted on the nose. You get some fruits, you get a little bit of oak. You almost get a little bit of like that tobacco note on the nose. But it's almost like chocolate, coffee, and fruit all mixed together. Like, that's what you get on the nose. All right, let's get it on the palate. So on the palate, it is very light, very delicate, but it has one heck of a mouthfeel. I'm telling you, man, it is almost like silky. Like, it's oily but silky at the same time. I don't want to give it a bad rap by calling it delicate, because sometimes I call things that drink super light delicate. It does drink light. The sweetness is very mild. It's like, it's a very mild sweetness. It's not super sweet where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't take this, like some cigar blends can be. This is coming across more mild with more of those like vanillas and creams. The chocolate hits on the back, but the finish goes on forever. That is one thing that I noticed about this when I first cracked it. I sipped it. Those light sweet notes came across. You really, I would say not a lot of the fruit transfers from the nose to the palate, but if you gave me this in a blind, I would say that it is finished. I would say that, man, this has to be finished in something. Now, I didn't know this because I didn't see it on the bottle unless I just overlooked it. But when I looked on Penelope's website, they said that it is finished with French oak staves. Now they give you a breakdown on the website. I can't remember that off the top of my head, and I don't want to go into my phone right now. But the light sweet notes that come across the palate with the vanillas and a little bit of like that chocolate that comes across the palate, and then when it gets into the finish is heavy like cacao chocolate, like you ate a whole chocolate bar. That's how, and it just goes on and on and on. Let's get back into the nose. Let me see if I can pull anything else out. Yeah, you get like a touch of like coffee bean, fruits, and chocolate just like mixed together. But the nose does come across muted. And I drink American light whiskey. I like it a lot. I do pick a little bit of that up like in the background, but maybe because once I got it home, like I said, I read it, I was like, okay. So I am picking some of that up in the nose, but it's not like heavy. And when I say American whiskeys, normally American light whiskeys to me have like this like fingernail polish remover note. It is that, but like just slightly, but it's something about the nose on an American whiskey that's different from bourbon. All right, back into the palate one more time before we get into the breakdown. It's so nice on the palate, man. To be 6 years old, I don't pick up a lot of sharp notes. You do get a little bit of pepper in the back, and that paired so well with that Oliva G. Now, the Oliva G, to me, I consider it mild. It does have a little bit of a spiciness to it on a retro. So, like, that spiciness that's in the background of this Penelope Cigar Sessions matches up well. It pairs really well with that little bit of spiciness in the back of the throat on this Cigar Sessions. And one thing that I found was that as I was sipping it, and I was taking, a couple pulls, then I would sip it and take a couple pulls, blow it out. It almost seemed like it had like this honey note, like this super rich, thick honey note, along with like I said, if you gave it to me in a blind, I would think that it was finished. It almost had like this sherry finish on it. I am really liking this product. Now, when I first got it home without a cigar, I was like, okay, it's cool, it's light, comes across the palate kind of light, but it's very viscous, so that's a plus. I was like, finish hangs around for a very long time, that's a plus. But when I tell you that this thing really is elevated by a cigar, I am not lying. Let's get into the breakdown. So, is it worth the chase? Oh man, this is one of those ones that I would say I'm not going to chase it. I mean, I just happened to walk into Nixon Clinton. Shout out to Nixon Clinton, man. I just happened to walk into Nixon Clinton and it was sitting on the shelf. But this wasn't something that I was necessarily chasing this year. I actually was chasing Old Fit 7 today, and what else was it? I was trying to see if the the Eagle Rare 12. Wow. I was trying to see if they were going to start releasing the Eagle Rare 12. I don't know when that's supposed to drop, but whenever I start seeing Sazerac products on the shelves like Buffalo Trace and Sazerac, and I see brand new bottles and they're putting them out on the shelves, then I know they probably have something in the back that they're waiting to get an email to do a drop with. So anyway, the Old Fit 7 is not on the allocated list. So you can actually go on ABC's website and see if they put it on the inventory, and you can see whatever store it's at. And I saw a store that had 10 by the time I got there, they had 0. So anyway, that's my luck. But getting back into this, is it worth the chase? I'm going to have to say no. I told you guys I am being really stingy with my chase bottles lately, because to me, when I think of chasing a bottle, it has to be something that is like, I am running all over for it. I am camping out for it. I'm kind of over the camping out thing, but I'm camping out. I'm running all over for it. Is it worth retail? This bottle is $89.99. Now, when I was texting my man Scott and I was texting my man Shane, I was like, you know, it's a good bottle, man. I really like it, but I don't know if it's a $90 bottle. However, even if I felt like this bottle was worth only 65 bucks, I would go up to my 30 over retail, which would be 95. So I guess you could say that it is worth retail. Who is this bottle for? It only comes in at 101 proof. I told you guys that earlier. So they watered this one down to 101 proof. That is probably where they felt like this bottle tasted the best for the majority of whiskey drinkers out there. So I would give this to a new bourbon drinker. I don't think it drinks hot. It comes off lightly sweet. It's very delicate on the palate, but it is very viscous at the same time. Will it always be on a bar? I know I said 90 is a lot for this bottle, but I know I said if I thought it was worth 65, I'd go to my $30 over retail, and I would do that again. I do like this bottle. I think it is so elevated by a cigar that it is ridiculous. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out, let's get it to a drop. Till next time.